Hello, and welcome back to the Follow Your Spark podcast. It's your host, Gina Casbarro, and I'm coming on today to share one of my favorite practices of the year that I do on the winter solstice called 13 Wishes. This practice is all about tapping into your intuition, tapping into your powers of manifestation, of co-creation, of opening up to your desires for the new year and inviting in cosmic support for them. So I'm going to share with you what this practice looks like, why I have found it so transformational, and how you can use this in your own life, like I said, to get clear about what you desire for 2026 and to ask the universe to support you on your journey. So before I get into what the practice entails, I want to share why the winter solstice is such a powerful day for ritual, for connecting to your intuition, and creating this connection with the universe, inviting in its support. Most of us think of December 31st as New Year's Eve, right? And yet the winter solstice is this tipping point moment of the year. It's the year for us in the Northern Hemisphere when we have the shortest day and the longest night. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you have it reversed. And it tips us into the next season. I really see the winter solstice as this like boomerang energy. And the same with the summer solstice. It's when the energy reaches its peak in one direction and then the momentum shifts, moving us in a new direction. So again, we've reached the peak of the darkness and now we're tipping back into the light. Every day moving forward from the winter solstice until the summer solstice, the light gets a little bit brighter and brighter and brighter. So in this darkness, it's like the fertile seed of the earth. We can plant these intentions, these wishes in this fertile soil and trust that every day moving forward for the next 6 months and beyond, these seeds will continue to grow. So whatever you plant today has even more potent energy and magic behind it. That's why I love doing ritual and ceremony on the winter solstice. And for me, again, this practice and the winter solstice in general is so much about surrender and trust. So yes, while this practice of 13 wishes is about manifestation, it's about what seeds you're planting, it's also about surrender and letting go of attachment to control and thinking you know best and inviting in the support of the universe to help show you that maybe this or something better is waiting for you. It's about accepting the unknown and the mystery and being okay to go along for the ride. So, what is this 13 wishes practice? Essentially, how it works is on the winter solstice, you will take 13 pieces of paper and you will write one wish on each piece of paper. And then you will fold the paper up so that you can't see what you wrote. And then starting from the 21st up until January 1st, you will pull one wish and you will discard it. We'll talk about in a minute how you could discard it, but you will discard it. And then you won't look at them as you pull one wish a day from the winter solstice to January 1st. And that's 12 days. So on January 1st, when you've discarded your 12th wish, you will be left with one wish. So all of the 12 wishes that you chose and you picked and you surrendered and let go of without looking at them, the intention is that Spirit, the universe, is going to support you in helping you either bring that to fruition or something better, or to guide you on your path, whatever that is in regards to that wish. And then the 13th wish is the one that the universe is inviting you to take massive action around, to be more responsible for, to really direct your time and energy and intention towards. And then you go on the rest of the year, again, really pouring your energy into that and inviting in trust with all of these other wishes. That's not to say that you're not going to also take actions towards them. And this 13th wish is the one that the universe is inviting you to be a little bit more responsible for. Okay, so first I want to talk about how to write these wishes, because this is a question that has been coming up a lot with my coaching clients as I've walked them through this practice. So I want to share with you how I write these and why I write them in that way. So, again, when it comes to these wishes, this practice for me is not about attachment. It's not about saying, okay, I wish for a red Corvette in 2026. Universe, just like drop a red Corvette in my driveway. That is what I want. So I focus much more on the essence of what matters to me. So one of my clients this morning was talking about travel, and she had wishes for traveling in 2026. So I asked her, what's really important in terms of travel? What's the essence of what matters? Is it about creativity? Is it about adventure? Is it about connection? And we honed in on that. And then the way that I phrase these wishes oftentimes is, please guide me, please help me, please direct me. So a wish about travel could be, and I even had a wish about travel in 2025. I think I wrote something like, please guide me to the trips that would make the biggest difference for me and my personal growth, that would help me unlock ancestral gifts, that would help me unlock connection and magic. And I left it at that as the essence. That's what matters to me. So I'm not attached to that trip being to Peru or Italy or New Jersey. Whatever it is, universe, please guide me to this intention to help me understand and discern what trip will support me the most this year. So for you, start thinking about, what are the things you desire most? What areas of your life even are most important to you? Let's say health is really important to you. And I will share this with you also, because again, maybe this helps you write your own. So for me in 2025 and the 20 years prior to that, sleep and insomnia was a really big struggle for me and something that caused me a lot of suffering. And I tried a lot of different things to quote unquote fix this problem. So on the solstice last year, for my 13 wishes, I wrote, please help guide me this year in understanding how to optimize my health. If there's something I can learn from my sleep patterns, please help me learn it. If there are practitioners or medicines that will support me, please guide me to them. So instead of for me saying, please fix this insomnia, please make my insomnia go away, I asked to be guided to, if there's something I can learn from my relationship with sleep, please help me uncover that. If there's a practitioner or someone who would support me to explore, please guide me to that. So again, what's important to me, and when I write these wishes, it's connecting to the essence of what matters. It's connecting to what I can learn from these experiences. It's written in a way that also invites in collaboration and co-creation, because maybe I didn't learn everything there is for me to learn yet in my relationship with sleep. Maybe there's something else for me to get. And who am I to say that my life would be better if this problem was quote unquote fixed? So I really try to write these in a way, like I said, that's fluid, that's flexible, that's not about holding on to these wishes with a death grip that I'm going to be so devastated and angry if they don't come to fruition. This is a very co-creative process for me. So I'm really intentional with how I write these words. So again, for you, maybe think about, what are the areas of your life that matter to you most? Is it health? Is it relationships? Is it passion, joy, fun, whatever it is? And ask yourself, what's the essence of what matters underneath that wish? And explore different ways you could write that or articulate it that would invite in that creative, collaborative energy with spirit. So now I want to tell you about my 13th wish and what it looked like for me to focus on that. And then I'll share a little bit more about how my 12 wishes did or didn't come to fruition. So the 13th wish that I was left with at the end of the year said, please help me create deeply nourishing community in my life. Please help me continue to focus on we versus me and help me envision and contribute to a reality that supports us all. So again, this is like the essence of what matters, right? For me, I really wanted to continue shifting out of this mindset of focusing on me all day long and my personal growth and how everything impacts me. And I really wanted to show up this year in a way of deeper service in all that I do. And I didn't know exactly what that was going to look like. So I pulled this wish, and right after I pulled this wish, I decided to sign up for something called Ride for the Feast. So in Baltimore, where I live, there's an organization called Movable Feast that supports underserved or at-risk communities here in Baltimore by offering them nourishing, healthy meals. And they have a fundraiser that is this 100-mile bike ride in May that happens every year. And one of my good friends participated in this last year and had invited me to do it. And I was like, I don't think so. So I didn't do it the year before. And she invited me to do it again in 2025. So when this was my last wish, I thought, why not? I've been saying that I'm going to volunteer for years. This is an incredible opportunity to do that, to shift my focus from me to we, to really be a part of a team, because a team comes together and rides together and trains together, and to also raise money for this incredible organization. So pulling this wish was one thing that really, again, helped me make this choice and tune into my intuition and discern that, yes, this was something that supported my intentions and what really mattered to me this year. So participating in Ride for the Feast was a huge way this wish manifested. And also for me, if you know me in Baltimore, you might know I'm a facilitator with an organization called Sparkle Space, where we host dances, primarily for women, non-binary, and femmes, and sometimes we do all gender dances as well. So this year, the leadership team, all poured a lot of time and energy and intention into growing this community. And I hosted and led my first all gender dance back in September. So pouring my energy into this also really felt like a way to bring this intention to life. So that felt super aligned. And even in the work I do as a life coach and a feng shui consultant, I feel like my lens was so much more focused on my clients in even deeper and deeper ways this year, continuing to ask myself that question of, how can I support them more? Thinking about their journey, thinking about what tools I can be sharing that will support them at every stage of the process. And again, really making this work I do even more focused on how I'm serving, how I'm showing up, how I'm supporting my community in deeper and deeper ways. So this definitely feels like I poured my intention into this, and the universe really supported me in that as well. So that was a really beautiful way to focus myself this year and to have that North Star that this was something that was really important to me. And also, now that I'm talking about this, I dance a dance style called Zouk, which is a partner dance. If you're familiar with salsa and bachata, it's kind of in that family. And I do a lot of solo energy dance with Sparkle Space and in my own dance practice. And partner dance is an opportunity to go from me to we. I'm not just dancing by myself now. I'm dancing in relationship with someone else. And that lens also was a really beautiful journey this year and had me go deeper and deeper into my exploration of what does it mean to embody the masculine and the feminine. And in this dance style, I train both as a lead and as a follow. So I get that perspective of both sides. And that has been a whole other beautiful journey. And again, really invites me to think about, how do I want to show up in partnership, in relationship with the person in front of me, with my community. So there's so many ways that this came to fruition this year. Speaking of intuition, I want to share some of the stories about what happened with some of these other wishes. And to determine which wish I'm going to tell you about, I am just going to reach my hand into this pile and pull one out and see which one comes through and then what comes channeled through me to share with you. So here we go. Okay. The wish that I chose says, please help me enjoy this life and not take it all so seriously. Please help me find gratitude, acceptance, and surrender in as many moments as possible. Please help me learn the lessons I'm meant to learn and enjoy myself along the way. Oh man, 2025 was a year. I am so curious to hear what it was like for you. For me, the reason I'm laughing at this wish is because I feel like I learned so many lessons on such a deeper embodied level this year. So many things I thought I knew or had learned that lesson already, and they circled back around again and again and again. And I think partially, if you're into astrology at all, you might know that this is a 9-year that we're in, according to Chinese astrology. We've been in this year of the wood snake, a year of shedding, of releasing, of letting go, and a year of closure and culmination and really learning these karmic lessons that we're here to learn, really get them so that we can move into this next cycle, this next number 1 year that we're coming up to in 2026 from this fresh slate. So, one lesson that really showed up this year is that I had not been celebrating myself and my life as deeply as I could be. And how that showed up for me was that in the past, historically, I used to be really focused on the gap of how far I had to go, the gap of where I thought I was lacking, what I felt like was missing in my life, and really putting more emphasis and focus on that instead of focusing on what was amazing, focusing on how far I've come, focusing on the incredible journey I've traveled, focusing on all the beautiful, amazing things I have in my life right now. I was often in this energy of not enoughness. And this is something that has caused me massive suffering in the past and blinded me to the incredible beauty and abundance and gifts that my life was full of. So instead of constantly beating myself up for what I felt like wasn't working, this year was a huge invitation to find joy in this moment and to recognize when and where I was making up a story about how I was a failure instead of recognizing how amazing my life was. And I really practiced this skill all year. And I feel so different, honestly, than I did at the beginning of this year. My relationship with myself and my life is so different. And honestly, this whole journey is what inspired me to create Own Your Becoming. It's my new 6-month coaching program that is all about this. It's all about looking at your past and celebrating how far you've come so that you can develop that confidence and courage from the inside out and enjoy your life right now instead of constantly chasing the next thing. You get to actually find joy here and also powerfully create what's next, not from a place of lack or because you have to in order to feel good enough, from a place that's actually fueled by pleasure and joy and passion and enoughness. And another big lesson this year is that joy or enjoyment doesn't have to only come in the beautiful moments. I can also find joy and gratitude and acceptance and surrender in difficult moments. There was a lot of moments of grief, of pain, of change, of transition, of uncertainty this year. And especially these last few months slash few weeks, even few days, I have been able to practice so much more acceptance and self-love in those moments of pain, in those moments of change and transition, and noticing, where am I seeking love, validation, affirmation externally? And how can I pour that into myself? How can I accept this moment for exactly what it is and actually love it? Love it as much as I love rainbows and delicious food or an amazing hug from someone I love. How can I enjoy the pain and the grief just as much as those moments? And that might feel impossible. And for me, I really tried to bring in that lens of this is part of being human. This is part of being alive. And can I let go of my resistance to what I'm experiencing right now and invite in love and know that this experience, my experience of pain in this moment, doesn't have to change in order for me to be able to accept what is. I don't have to understand why something is happening, and I can accept that this is what's happening right now. And there's a way for me to bring in gratitude and surrender in that moment, even if some other part of me would not have chose it and might have thought that this is not how I wanted things to go. And I can still bring in love in that moment. So that was a massive lesson for me this year. Okay, let's see what else is coming through that wants to be talked about. This other one says, please help lead me to creative outlets that are fun, soul enriching, and that add deep joy and nourishment to my life. Please help me create the space for this exploration. So, yeah, this year was full of creative outlets that were fun, soul enriching, and that add deep joy and nourishment. One of them, like I talked about, was dance, Zouk specifically, as well as my energy dance. And also, now that I'm thinking of this, I started out in partner dancing 20 years ago with salsa. And it's not something that I have done a lot of the past few years. I've really been more devoted to Zouk recently. And this year, I did get back into salsa, bachata, a little bit here and there, and it was super fun and soul enriching and really, again, just brought joy to my life. And I just really trusted my intuition to follow that, and it brought me a lot of pleasure. And another creative outlet that has been massively soul enriching this year is drumming. And drumming for me is something that I've done since I was a kid. I played drum set, then I played taiko drums for many years, and I've been playing Italian frame drums the past few years. And this year I was guided to go back to Italy and continue studying frame drumming and dancing on all of these traditional healing rituals and styles that are native to the lands that I'm from. So that was massively rewarding. And when I came back from that trip, I had another amazing opportunity to create and build my own drum. And this is something that I've been wanting, a drum like this, for many years, and was waiting for the call of how and when this drum would come into my life. And someone reached out to me and said they were having this incredible teacher and facilitator come create this drum birthing experience for people. So I immediately said yes. And this was another example of being guided. This is not an opportunity that I sought out. It wasn't something I was researching. It was literally something that crossed my path. And that, again, is the power of doing a practice like this, because our words are creative. They are generative. So when you put your pen to a paper, it's like a prayer or a spell or an intention of saying, please help me, please guide me. And when you're doing that, you're sending that intention to spirit. You're also sending that intention to your body, your heart, your mind, so that when an opportunity crosses your path, there can be some part of you that remembers what you wrote. Oh, yeah, I said that creative outlets that are fun, soul enriching, and bring me joy and nourishment are important to me. So when this opportunity crosses my path, it can light up. Those synapses can connect, and I can be reminded that this is something that I said mattered, and that can help you make a powerful aligned choice. So again, this is a way to focus your energy, to plant these seeds. And this isn't about, like I said, control, trying to predict everything in your life. It's about being this co-creative partner with the universe and trusting that it's up to both of us. Like, you are the one who plants the seeds, and that the universe can help you nourish those seeds and grow those seeds. And again, you need to be the one to take steps towards them. So when that drum workshop crossed my path, I had to be the one to say yes. So this goes both ways. Let's see, let me pull one more to see if there's anything else that wants to be shared. This one says, please help me continue to connect with and open up to intuitive guidance from my home. Please help me continue to explore feng shui and creativity in a way that supports, nourishes, and fuels me. So, yeah, that definitely came to life in beautiful ways this year as well. And it's so interesting with feng shui. There are so many similarities between so many of the things I've been called to explore in my life. Feng shui is so much about connection to nature, connection to ritual, connection to symbolism, to art, to color. It goes so far beyond just one modality or tradition. There's so many different cultures and practices that weave in similar themes about feng shui and working with space and working with all of these beautiful tools. So I feel like I got to explore feng shui from different perspectives this year. One of them was going to Italy and learning more about the roots of my Italian culture and how they, of course, have their own ways of interacting with nature and music and sensory details and the seasons and land, of course, and all of these, again, co-creative ways. So I got to learn about feng shui, like I said, from different perspectives, and continued to explore how to weave in imagery and symbolism into my home and into my life. One way, I've talked about this in other podcasts, that every time I did meditations with my future self, I saw my house that had rugs in it. And I've been thinking about getting rugs for 2 years since I've lived here. I never had. So this year was finally the year that I got a number of rugs for my space. And that really helped me open up to different intentions that I was setting for myself and working with, from abundance and nourishment and support, and really surrounding myself with colors and imagery and symbolism that reminded me of things that were important to me. So I continue to build this beautiful relationship with my home and continue to be guided in my own practices. And it's also that something that my clients and people in my community have been asking for more of this. They've been asking for more ways to work with creativity, with their home, because this runs deep in all of us, our connection to symbolism, to art, to color. So that's why, again, for Own Your Becoming, I decided to start offering in-person and virtual feng shui identity audits to really go through this exploration process with people and help them use their home as this co-creative spirit to work with, and know that you don't have to be alone in this process, that your home wants to support you. It is this living being that is here to co-create with you. And we are so connected. We're so connected to the land that we live on. We're so connected to the walls that surround us and support us. So I am so excited to not only continue to use these practices for myself, also to be able to use them with you and with my clients and with my community in deeper ways, because I believe we're so much more than our mind. We are really mind, body, spirit, of course, creatures. And there are so many ways to heal and transform that aren't just about changing your thoughts. So when you pair all of these things together, magic happens. Okay, so I could go through all of these other 12 wishes and share with you all of the incredible ways that they came to life. And what I really want to leave you with is, like I said, that this letting go of attachment to how these wishes manifest. because maybe they manifest exactly like you wrote them. Maybe they open up a different door that you wouldn't have discovered if you hadn't written that down in the first place. So, this is not about trying to control everything that happens in 2026. It's about planting seeds. It's about honing in on the essence of what really matters to you. It's about inviting in spirit to dance with you and to go on this journey with you, and then surrendering these things to the universe and learning to enjoy the process. And again, knowing that these are seeds that you're planting. So, another big lesson for me this year was to stop watching if the water is boiling. So, what I mean by this is that when you plant this seed, to let it go, to not try to evaluate how it's going every single day and shake your fist at the universe if things aren't happening the way that you wanted or in the time frame that you hoped. Sometimes things take time. Sometimes seeds sprout very quickly. They can happen at different paces, different speeds. So, yeah, I really invite you to surrender this up. So, you might be wondering, how am I reading these to you if I am supposed to have discarded these wishes, right? So, there's different ways to do this. You can, starting on the solstice, like I said, you're going to write down your 13 wishes on 13 different slips of paper. And then starting on the solstice, you're going to pull one by one and discard them. You can burn them. And as you're burning them, again, let the fire transform this. Let it be a representation of your surrender. Let it be an alchemization into the air, into spirit, sending your prayers up. That's one way to do it. So I have a God box. And what I mean by a God box is I have a physical box that I write things in, and I might either write down things that I am struggling to find a solution for. Maybe there's a challenge or obstacle I'm facing, and I would write on a piece of paper about that and ask for support or guidance and put that in the God box and trust that, I'm going to be guided to whatever can support me. Or I might write down wishes or prayers like this. So I chose to put these 12 wishes into my God box because I wanted to be able to look back on them. So now that the year has almost come to a close and we're at the winter solstice, I'm using this in my reflections, in my gratitude practice, and my evaluation practice to really see what happened. How did these wishes come to fruition? What did I learn this year? And then on the solstice this year, I am going to burn all of these wishes and again thank Spirit for their support in all of these things. And then I will write my 13 wishes for the new year and go through the same process again. And like I said, this was a transformational experience for me and really helped direct my intention energetically, spiritually, physically in the real world. And if this calls to you, I really invite you to do this, to explore this. We are going through a really transformational time right now. We've got a new moon on Friday, the 19th, and then we've got the solstice on Sunday. So this weekend is like a portal time to, again, really let go of and shed everything, not just from this past year, but from the last 9 years. All the lessons you've been learning, all the experiences that you've been having, all the ways that you've grown, and really step through this portal from this like blank slate to dream bigger, to own who you are, and embrace what is possible in the next year and beyond. So I hope that you enjoy this practice if you experiment with it. And if this is something that resonates with you, if you are looking for more ways to harmonize both logic and intuition, if you're looking for more ways to love yourself and your life even more now while you create your next chapter, I want to share with you more about Own Your Becoming. this is a 6-month journey that we are about to embark on to really build up this Phoenix mindset, I call it, so that you can look back on your past and feel grateful for how far you've come, to feel proud of yourself and your journey, to reinforce to yourself why you are so capable, and to really own your becoming. Own everything that's contributed to who you are now. And like I said, powerfully co create your future, not from force, not from pushing, not from control, but from a place of passion, of co creation with the universe, and being willing to follow your heart as you navigate this path of uncertainty. Because if you're like me or any of my clients, maybe you're an entrepreneur, a visionary, a trailblazer of any kind, that path of betting on yourself, of blazing your own path, it requires navigating the uncertainty. It requires stepping out into the unknown. And I know that can be really scary. And there are skills that you can develop that can make that journey more easeful, that can make it not feel so scary or terrifying, that can help you actually build a super strong, stable foundation so that no matter what kind of storm is going on in your life, you can trust yourself to weather that. You can trust yourself to navigate that. So, this 6-month journey is called Own Your Becoming. It weaves together one-on-one coaching and monthly group spark sessions. So, these monthly sessions starting in January are all about connecting to your yearly goals and intentions, and then breaking them down into what matters most each month. And again, we'll tap into both the powers of the mind and the heart to open up to intuitive guidance, to receive wisdom from oracle cards or creative practices or feng shui practices, to get creative together, and to learn to track signs, evidence, and celebrations, and to build this muscle and skill of gratitude, of looking for what's working, and also learning, evaluating, reflecting. And anytime that you face an obstacle, not making that mean you failed or something went wrong, simply looking at it as an opportunity to learn and grow. And we do all of this inside of a beautiful, supportive community where you're seeing other people face their fears and face their challenges, and everyone's uplifting each other. And so often, what one person is going through ends up resonating with someone else. And all these different synchronicities show up inside of this group and this community. So I'm so excited for that. And like I mentioned earlier, it also includes a feng shui identity audit that can be done virtually or in person. And it includes an opportunity to come on this podcast because so many of my clients want to share their story more powerfully. They want to be heard. They want to share their gifts. They want to face their fears of showing up boldly and authentically and letting the world see them in all of their glory. So if that's something that speaks to you, that will be an opportunity for you inside of this program. And if you're local to Baltimore, another opportunity inside of Own Your Becoming is having a photo shoot. So, if you've listened to my podcast recently, you'll have heard an episode where I talk about the 5 initiations possible in this program. And going through a photo shoot was a huge initiation for me this year. And it invited me to, again, really embrace everything that I already was and let go of trying to chase something externally and let go of the idea that the perfect outfit was going to make me feel a certain way or appear a certain way. And remember that everything I am is already inside of me. And it was about letting that essence shine through and allowing myself to be seen and celebrated in that light. So this photo shoot will be an opportunity for everyone local who's been a part of this program to come together and be photographed and celebrated. And you'll walk away with these individual images that capture your essence, that invite you to show yourself boldly for everything that you are and be celebrated by your community. It's going to be a really transformative, magical day that I know is like part of this kind of practice. It's like, I don't even know right now how transformative this is going to be. I can just feel it. And I am so ready for the universe to make magic with us through this experience. And every layer of this program is something that I feel so guided towards, so supported in the creation of this. So I just cannot wait to see all of the people who come together for this experience. So if you're listening to this, like I said, if you're an entrepreneur, if there's a bigger dream that you want to step into in 2026, if you are craving support to transform your mindset to one that empowers you, that supports you to take steps one at a time towards this vision, towards your dreams, and to help you connect with your intuition and feel guided and trusting in the face of uncertainty, let's jump on a call so that you can discover if this program is right for you. I'm offering free clarity calls where we can talk through this and we can really explore together what are your dreams, what are the things getting in your way, and how could Own Your Becoming be the catalyst that you're craving, that could be the support system and the community that you're craving as you navigate this journey, this wild ride that I know 2026 and beyond is going to be. So if that calls to you, go to ginacasbarro.com/own your becoming and book a clarity call. Let's talk in the next week. This program begins at the end of December. So let's get you in if you want to ride this wave with us as we begin this journey. So if you're feeling that call, I cannot wait to connect. All right, my friend, I am wishing you the most beautiful new moon, the most incredible solstice, and I can't wait to hear about your 13 wishes. So feel free to reach out if you want to share what this practice was like for you or put it in the comments. I would love to learn about your experience. All right, sending you so much love. I'll talk to you soon.